friends, I'm Rob Chapman and this is How to Play All I Was by the amazing Mark Tremonti. Now I'm in drop C sharp, so I'm using 12 gauge strings on the bass side and I'm using 10 gauge strings on the treble side. Here are some tuning notes for you. For this video lesson I'm using a Chapman Guitars ML1 in the natural finish. This is a Rob Chapman signature silverback. This is a Fat Boy from Zilla Cabs. I'm using a Red Bear plectrum, and behind this amplifier I've got a TC Electronic Hall of Fame reverb. So the rig sounds like this. By the way, I'm using a camera mic for all of the audio, so everything you hear is coming through a Panasonic HD cam. Now to start with, because some of you guys are probably going to be advanced players, I'm just going to play the riffs all the way through, but at about half tempo, so you can try and pick it up with your ears. For those of you who require a little bit more guidance, I'll take you through all the riffs step by step, but before you do this, go onto iTunes and purchase All I Was by Mark Tremonti, because it's one of the best albums this year. Now you may be able to see from looking at the front panel of my amplifier that I've got quite a lot of mid in the overall sound. You need the mid to cut through the mix. What you absolutely don't want to do is scoop it out, because you'll be lost in a full band with the vocal and bass and cymbal frequencies. Throughout this video I'm going to refer to the strings as if they're tuned in standard, just to make it a little bit easier for me to teach you. And the first phrase goes like this. We're going to go... So that's just an open E string followed by a power chord up here on the 5th fret rooted on the A string. So we're going to go A, D and G, just a power chord, nice and easy. Nice entrance into this amazing riff for All I Was, followed by a really cool little rhythmical pattern that's a good exercise for the right hand as well as your mind, as long as both of them are synchronized. And it goes like this. I'll do that again for you. So what I would do if you find that tricky is break it down into an exercise and work on that on its own until you get it right. You know, that's the right thing to do. And you can move that around and change strings and really make it your own exercise. The more you do that when you're learning songs, the quicker you'll learn them. The idea here is that rather than just playing faceless exercises that have no bearing on your playing, you're taking things that you find difficult and bringing that into your learning schedule. It makes you a better player. So far we've got... And the next thing, we're going to move down a tone, and we're going to bring our little finger over to this major third on the D string to make what really is a major chord. So if you find the stretch difficult, and you may do if you're young, then all you want to do is make sure that your thumb is in the back or the center of the guitar, like you're doing this. That's the hand position. You just place the guitar in there. So we got a regular power chord with the dropped tuning, which is nice and easy, and the little finger comes across to the 12th fret and plays the third note of a major scale, giving us a major power chord. then take this all the way down to where G would be and play the same shape chord, and that is a bit of a stretch, so work at it. If you find that hard again, turn it into an exercise, move that around. Whenever you find things hard, work on the things you find hard. Guitarists tend very much to work on their strengths, and I think that's folly. So far we've got... So after you've landed on this E major chord at the 3rd fret and you've given it some chugging, we're going to whack it 6 times. I'll play you up to that point. So after that pattern of 6, we just hit the open C sharp string, and then we hit it again, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's very fond of doing these little tiny packets of rhythm within an open phrase, and it gives it the sort of the aural signature of Mark Tremonti. And again, that could be a great thing to practice with the right hand. Make sure your plectrum is angled down, so you're slicing through the string rather than snagging it. Once you've done that, there's a little turnaround phrase, which is just the 1st fret A string, open A string, 3rd fret E, and then off. And so all together we have this. Right, then we're back up to the 1st chord we played. Straight back down to the E major chord, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pattern before we play the open chording again. So we get this. And the circle continues from there. That's the riff complete. Here it is nice and slow for you. Take it easy when you practice, don't strain your stuff, don't stress yourself, drink lots of coffee. At this point you want to flick up to a nice single coil sound or coil tap, whatever guitar you've got. Hopefully it's a Chapman guitar. And we're going to play a lovely little arpeggio feature which really gives the sound of Tremonti and all the bands he's been in, Alter Bridge and Creed. It's just this thing he's kind of created. So what Mark is doing here is he's playing backwards a triad down a minor arpeggio. The arpeggio would look like this in full. And he's starting on the G string and doing a kind of a Japanese koto where you sort of give it a semitone. Sounds great in pentatonic scales, that. It's really something that Mark's made his own. So we're going backwards. We're then going to move down with the 1st finger here to the 8th fret. Slide back a semitone, do the same koto bend. Little finger up here to the 10th fret on the E string. 1st finger exactly where it is on the 7th fret. And then open string. So that phrase in full is this. Now this might be a difficult part for you to play if you've never encountered arpeggios or sweeping before, and this is how I play it. Please take heed, this may not be how Mark plays it. So I'm starting with an upstroke for the koto bend. Up again, down, slide with the bend, up, pick, down, pick, and then pull off. So you get this. The next part, so my 1st finger is on the G string 2nd fret, my 2nd finger is on this E string 3rd fret, and my 3rd finger is on the D string 3rd fret, and the little finger hammers on or off of the G string at the 3rd fret, so you get... And now we do exactly the same thing, but back 2 frets, and the little finger hammers on 1 fret closer. So we go, take the 1st finger off, 1, 2 back, push the little finger out. So that phrase sounds like... practice jumping between those two riffs, because they're so different sounding, you're going to get switching problems. Now what I do, and I have done for a long time, is drilled switching. A lot of guitar players don't even pay attention to the switching down here. It's a bit like driving a car in one gear all your life. You want to familiarise yourself a great deal with where your coil tap is, if you've got one, where the selecting switches and the volume. Surprises me how many guitar players never adjust their volume. And in fact, if you don't do that with this riff, it can sound really harsh when you flick it to a nice warm, fat neck single coil. So I'd recommend working your way up from a full-blown humbucker through to a backed off neck fat single coil like this. Because it's things like that that make the difference between someone that can play and someone that can really play. It's mastery and control of the instrument. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Go out and buy Mark Tremonti's album. I'm Rob Chapman. Take it easy. Chappers out.
Thank you.